From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Thursday, December 26th. It is the first day of Kwanzaa, second day of Hanukkah, day after Christmas, and it doesn't feel like any of it outside. We have mild temps in the 40s, dreary, gloomy conditions. The good news is all that rain we saw yesterday, it's going to taper off as the day goes on. Do expect some dry hours today.
Looking for ways to save on your energy bills? AES Indiana has you covered. From smart thermostats to home energy assessments, we offer simple solutions to keep your home comfortable and your costs down. AES can help you save money and energy with kits, tips, rebates, and more. Visit aesindiana.com/ways to save to learn more about how we can help you save money. AES Indiana, helping you discover real ways to save.
Credit Karma is your evolved financial assistant, making managing your finances simpler and more tailored to you. Join us at creditkarma.com to start your personalized financial journey today and continue to grow with our innovations. Credit Karma. Evolve your finances.
Gunfire plagues a Christmas Day gathering on the city's northeast side. Multiple people were shot, one fatally, and neighbors are staying tight-lipped about what happened. News 8's Colin Bailey brings us the latest this morning.
Tragedy came to an Indianapolis community Christmas Day. Here's what we know. IMPD says a total of 6 people were shot at that gathering. We know that 2 women were struck by gunfire. One of those was pronounced deceased at the hospital. And we do know that IMPD has 1 person in custody right now. But let's take a look over here at the scene of what happened on Christmas Day. This is Meadowlark Drive, the 6400 block of what you're seeing right now. Again, Meadowlark Drive, northeast side of the city. Neighbors told our I-Team 8 they did not want to talk with us due to safety concerns, but say they are not surprised this happened. Just before 12:30 in the afternoon on Christmas Day, IMPD responded to the 6400 block of Meadowlark Drive when officers arrived on scene. Officers found 4 uninjured children, all younger than 18, in the front living room, and a man and a woman each shot in the back room of the home. The man and woman were taken from the home to a hospital. The woman later died. The man was last reported to be stable. Later, police learned a man shot at the home had walked into a medical clinic at 86th Street and Allisonville Road about 1 p.m. Wednesday. He was transported from the clinic to a hospital where he was last reported to be in critical condition. Even later in the day, a man was shot at the house, walked into Eskenazi Hospital. Police said in an updated release issued Wednesday night that man's condition was not immediately available. This is what IMPD had to say about everything that unfolded Wednesday.
I cannot reiterate how tragic this is for these children that were in this home and had to experience this event on a holiday. I cannot express that we have to do better to stop the gun violence and bringing guns into homes, guns into businesses, guns on our streets, to use them in this manner. This is not what we do as a community. We are better than this, and this has to stop.
Police did find a firearm inside the house. None of the names of the people shot or the person of interest have been publicly shared. IMPD says the Marion County Coroner's Office will determine the cause and manner of the death of the woman and confirm her identity as well. I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
A man is dead after a shooting on the city's east side. Police say it happened yesterday morning at around 11:30 at a house on North Kitley Avenue. That's near the intersection of 42nd Street and Arlington Avenue. Investigators believe an argument may have led to the gunfire. So far, police have not said if anyone has been arrested. Today marks the start of the week-long celebration of Kwanzaa. A community healing celebration will kick off at around 1 this afternoon at the AMP at 16 Tech. The holiday was established back in 1966 as a non-religious way for African Americans to reconnect with ancestral roots. It is celebrated each year from December 26th to January 1st. Candle is lit each night on the 7-branch Kinara. Each day highlights one of the 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. Tonight marks the second night of Hanukkah. On Wednesday evening, Jewish people in Indianapolis lit the community menorah for the first night of the Festival of Lights. Video from the Jewish Federation of Greater Indianapolis shows part of the moment. The organization says each night a different group is sponsoring the community lightings. Prayers will be held before each ceremony. Tonight's is at the Jewish Community Center on Hoover Road. It starts at 5 in the evening. The candle lighting runs until January 1st, the last night of Hanukkah. As people celebrated Christmas and Hanukkah around the world on Wednesday, messages of peace took center stage this holiday season. Michael Yoshida shares a look at the festivities and the heartfelt calls for unity.
In his Christmas Day message delivered at the Vatican, Pope Francis calling for a negotiation to end the war in Ukraine.
May the sound of weapons be silenced in Ukraine.
The 88-year-old pontiff has long called for a peace agreement. His latest plea coming just hours after a massive aerial attack by Russia on Ukraine's energy infrastructure. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky calling the Christmas Day attack inhumane, a sentiment echoed by some U.S. leaders.
I do think it's inhuman to choose this particular day, but that's not unusual for Vladimir Putin.
As Christmas was celebrated in Bethlehem, the Israel-Hamas war continues as a ceasefire and hostage deal remains elusive. From the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Francis speaking on the conflict.
May the sound of arms be silenced in the Middle East. In contemplating the crib of Bethlehem, I think of the Christian communities in Israel and Palestine, and particularly to the dear community of Gaza, where the humanitarian situation is extremely grave.
Amid the wars and violence, signs of hope this holiday too. Mass was held at Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, France, the first on Christmas Day since its reopening following a devastating fire in 2019. And in London, King Charles using his Christmas message to praise healthcare workers and those who dedicate their lives to helping others.
The degree to which we help one another and draw support from each other, be we people of faith or of none, is a measure of our civilization as nations.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Experts say they're concerned over the growing spread of bird flu. It's affecting more than just poultry in the industry. It's prompting a pet food recall. Reed Binion tells us how the spread could impact you.
Over 125 million domestic poultry have been either culled or died as a consequence of this virus over the last year.
Concern over bird flu is growing among some health experts.
This bird virus, H5N1, is circulating widely in domestic poultry and on dairy farms.
One point of concern is the spread of the disease in cattle.
Hundreds of dairy herds have been infected.
Nearly 900 herds across 16 states have tested positive.
And there have only been 65 human infections, which is excellent news.
The disease prompted a Portland-based pet food company to issue a nationwide voluntary recall after a house cat in Oregon died from eating one of its products, which tested positive for bird flu. Meanwhile, in neighboring Washington state, bird flu killed more than half the big cats at a sanctuary.
We've lost 20 cats due to this virus or symptoms thereof of this bird flu virus. And you think hopefully it's a bad dream? But it's not.
It's unknown just how the animals contracted the virus. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
New on Daybreak, doctors are raising concerns as whooping cough cases surge across the U.S. According to the CDC, there have been 32,000 reported cases so far this year. That's about 6 times higher than the same time last year. Experts say the symptoms can start out like a common cold, but the illness can develop into a painful cough that lasts for weeks or sometimes months. They say younger children are especially vulnerable. Health officials are urging you to get up to date with your vaccinations to protect yourself and your family. Despite low unemployment, a new report highlights some very real challenges facing workplaces in the new year. In 2024, Gallup, a management consulting company, says employee engagement in the U.S. reached an 11-year low, and overall employee satisfaction returned to an all-time record low. The report found more people are looking for new jobs, but quit rates are not going up. Researchers say that means workers are staying in their current roles, even though they feel disconnected from their jobs. It is a trend Gallup has referred to as the Great Detachment. Jane King is on the money at the New York Stock Exchange this morning and starts with Starbucks workers on strike, expected to go back to work today.
So they've been on strike for about 5 days, but they are expected to be back on the job today. Now, the union says they want pay raises, also back pay. There's no collective bargaining agreement in place. At least 300 Starbucks stores were closed at some point over the past week due to this strike. Well, the FDA has classified a recall of eggs sold at Costco caused by potential salmonella contamination as the highest risk level for infection. The voluntary recall last month was of cartons of Handsome Brook Farms eggs. They were sold under the Kirkland Signature Organic Pasture label. The FDA defines a Class 1 recall as being a reasonable probability that the product will cause serious adverse health consequences or even death. Well, the Container Store filed for bankruptcy protection in an attempt to save the business and ensure future profitability. The Container Store said this doesn't mark the end of the retailer. It's just a way that it's reorganizing its finances. And soaring costs for home insurance and property taxes are busting homeowners' budgets. The Wall Street Journal reports insurers have pushed big rate increases because of natural disasters, and then property taxes have gone up as home values have gone up. And in fact, in some cases, the taxes and the insurance are more than the mortgage payments. Wall Street's main indexes were higher on Tuesday. We did have a holiday shortened session. It was Christmas Eve. The Dow and the Nasdaq have now been up for 4 straight sessions. However, we're looking lower today. The Dow's going down about 200 points. Live from the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Back to you.
The bald eagle is officially the nation's symbol for strength, freedom, and resilience. On Tuesday, President Joe Biden signed a bill into law recognizing the bald eagle as the country's national bird. The legislation was brought to the Senate floor in July and passed unanimously this month. The bald eagle has long been the unofficial symbol of the United States. It was adopted as the coat of arms to grace the Great Seal of the U.S. in 1782. It's also the leading insignia for all U.S. military branches and appears on money, public buildings, flags, documents, and sports teams. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Did you know that you can make your life-saving donation to Doctors Without Borders go even further? Whether you donate stock, recommend a grant through your donor-advised fund, or make an IRA-qualified charitable distribution, you can take advantage of strong market performance this year to maximize your charitable impact. Making it possible for Doctors Without Borders to stay ready to respond in more than 70 countries around the world. Together, we go further. Explore ways to give at doctorswithoutborders.org/podcast.
The holidays are all about sharing with family. Meals, couches, stories, Grandma's secret pecan pie recipe. And now you can also share a cart with Instacart Family Carts. Everyone can add what they want to one group cart from wherever they are. So you don't have to go from room to room to find out who wants cranberry sauce, or whether you should get mini marshmallows for the yams, or collecting votes for sugar cookies versus shortbread. Just share a cart, and then share the meals and the moments. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.